Hi guys. It's a nice sunshiny day. Figured I would get some stuff done out here in the yard. Also, to test and see how long range the new speaker will go, or microphone, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go walk to the other end of the yard. I'll be back. So from work, there's a rabbit in one of the classrooms, and the teacher stores all of the rabbit litter for me. Well, she doesn't store it, she just saves it to the side. I have to pick it up and store it. And so I have rabbit poop, which is great. Anyway, some things I wanted to do today were work on some of these porch plants that I've got. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it here. I'll show. So, the roof, we had an ice storm, and it made it so that it launched basically all of the ice from the roof directly onto my plants here on the porch. And these guys are a perennial. What are they called? Osteosperm. Anyway, they were all right. They lasted for a long time. They kept blooming, but it's due to get made over. But the plant back here in the green round container, I don't know if you guys can really see that per se. Yeah, green round container. That is a gardenia, and it got smashed by ice because like all the ice launched onto it. The taller plant behind it is a jasmine. It's I believe a Texas star jasmine. Confederate star. Yeah. Texas Confederates, almost the same thing. Sounded like a car backfired and then a turkey lit off. That was kind of funny. So what I want to do is to cut down all of this this perennial here, and I want to plant. I went to an Asian market and bought some beans. I'll show you guys. I bought some soybeans, and I bought some mung beans, and I bought some broad bean, which I believe is like a sort of a, looks a little bit like a fava bean, maybe. I don't know. But I want to try growing them and see what they do. I've been watching a lot of Asian YouTube channels, and they've been making their own tofu, and I thought it would be kind of fun to try to grow enough soybeans to make a batch of tofu, just to bring it to a party and be like, yep, I grew it, I made the tofu, and here it is at the potluck. I'm a meat eater, but you know, I'm from a hippie group, so there's a lot of non-meat eaters, so it would be kind of fun. I don't know. I just think it's like, it would be cool bragging rights. Anyway, that is the goal. Let's get this nonsense trimmed down. What you doing, Luna? Sorry for the adjustments. Wait. I don't know how I can adjust that. I'll move you guys over here. There we go. All right. This last summer I tried to grow a loofah, and I grew a birdhouse gourd, but my birdhouse gourd also got hit by ice. So I think it's going to be rotted. Not suitable for a birdhouse, but hopefully I'll be able to plant seeds out of it maybe. I don't know. I should probably pull the seeds out now before they get too mushy to be able to plant. Oh well. So how's everybody's February going? Right now it is the last week of February when I'm recording this. I went and had my second COVID vaccine last week. Ended up with a sore arm, but no flu symptoms, which is good. It's so weird to think that on a global level, because I watch a lot of international YouTubers, on a global level, so many people are talking about the same thing. Because I don't know, I've just kind of gotten used to, that a situation that you're dealing with locally is just solely a local situation. But now, like, my military friends are dealing with the same thing that all of my civilian friends are dealing with, and it's just feels kind of weird. Kind of unifying, but still kind of weird. I mean, if we let it unify us, a lot of people are still not on board with it, but whatever. Found a slug. So in this pot, I'm pulling out this annual. I'm not digging it out, I'm just cutting it off. Who knows, it might sprout up again from its leavings. Our winter was pretty mild, except for that ice storm that we had around Valentine's Day. And we didn't have power for a long time. Man, that was crazy. So we there was a lot of people really mad at our utility company. And yeah, I'm in Oregon, not in Texas. Texas got pretty hosed by their infrastructure. Ours was mostly just that we had a lot of trees that came down and power lines. Like out where I live, I'm far enough away from the main town areas, out of the metropolitan area of Portland, that we kind of don't have very good infrastructure all the time. I mean, there's stuff that comes into the town where I live, but I'm still like 7 miles outside of the little town that I call home. So it even still, it's not our where was I going with that? Sorry, I haven't taken my ADD meds yet. It's only like 12:30 in the morning, afternoon. So infrastructure wise, we're far enough out in a small town. Like, our community is maybe 5,000 people, and that's 5,000 people bus route wise. I think the town is maybe 3,000 people. But so our infrastructure, It's kind of a bit old. We're kind of like we don't have enough people living out here that they really invest in making sure that we have good, fresh, new power lines. But our internet's pretty good, mostly just because the people who own the internet company in our town live not too far away from where I live, which is how monopolies go, right? Excuse me. Well, I do see some signs of life. There's a little bit of, I don't know if that's a dandelion or calendula. Yeah, so it was an interesting couple weeks. It's been sort of strange. One thing that was pretty cool is that my aunt and uncle got a new puppy. They named him Bob. One thing that was not very cool about that is that their cat decided that he was not super keen on there being a puppy in the house. So he ran away. And we thought that maybe he had been eaten by coyotes, but he just came back yesterday. Not super skinny, a little bit skinny, but not too bad. So we'll see how he does. They have to keep the cat door blocked off because the dog is still a puppy, and he fits through the cat door. And when he fits through the cat door, he then comes over to my house and goes through my cat door and eats all of my cat food. Oh wow. Worms. You guys want to see some worms? Can you see them in that wet spot? They're red and they have white stripes on them, which means I believe that they are red wigglers. So I recently learned about a species of worms that's been introduced to our area and is actually, whoa, what you doing, weirdo? Detrimental to our native habitats here. It's called the jumping worm or something like that. I think it's got a couple different colloquial names depending on what part of the world you live in. They're popular with fishing because when you pull them out of their container, either touching them or they get hit by sunlight, they go pretty crazy, which then attracts fish pretty well. So anglers, fishing people, they buy some worms, go out for a day of fishing, and then when they're done fishing, they just kind of dump out their worms, and it's causing problems because the worms they live in a layer of the soil that the way that Pacific Northwest ecology, well, most of North America ecology, like the organic matter, the living organic matter, or even like the leaf layer, like the fallen leaves layers, like they need to touch the soil in order for the soil microbiome to work. So like there's the funguses, and then there's like the there's amoebas and nematodes and all of these things that are like make it so that the soil is alive and processes nutrients into something that like the trees and the bushes and the wildlife, wild flora can use. And these worms, they keep it from working right. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, it was interesting to learn about it. It's also interesting that people are like, well, why don't you just keep using, or why don't you, instead of making a war on the worms, why don't you just use them for fishing bait? And everybody's like, did you not read the articles? Did you not watch the videos? Like, that's exactly how they were introduced. So, it's interesting. Okay, so these are the mung beans. I decided to grab some mung beans because I like them. They're very small, like smaller than a pea. PEA. They cook up kind of like a lentil would, pretty quick, or like a pea maybe, like a field pea type pea. And let's see, let's plant some in here. See how they go. All right. Not doing anything super scientific here. Throw them on the soil, poke them in, make sure they're all covered. So this planter box has, I think I filled it with Miracle Grow, some sphagnum moss, and some, I don't remember what, but the top is like I think I put alfalfa pellets on it maybe, or it looks like it's wood chips now. I don't remember. That was about the time that my part of Oregon caught on fire last September. It's been a weird year. Now that the Chinese New Year has started, maybe we'll actually get to start a new year instead of the 2020 that never really stopped being crazy. Oops. Now I'm planting the broad beans. I got these because I thought they would be kind of fun to grow. We'll see how viney they get. That was part of my question about them, is if they need to be trellised. Not every legume needs to be trellised. Some are significantly lower growers than that. But if it does need to be trellised, I could use it as like a sunshade maybe on a window, or to help block the sun for like lettuce, spinach maybe. Okay, worm, I see you. Not gonna poke it through you. You're good. Good guys. Stay there. But I don't know. I kind of like to see if I can use my plants to help take care of my other plants, if that makes sense. It's kind of interesting. It's like a way of trying to create symbiotic relationships and see if they can even grow symbiotically. I mean, you think of legumes as being nitrogen fixers. So if you can use them to fix nitrogen and help protect the tender plants, Seems kind of like a win-win to me. Okay, next is found another broad bean. The soybeans. I'm probably overplanting these. They'll be too crowded by the time spring really rolls around. That'll be okay. I mean, if anything, I can cut them off and use them to help mulch other garden beds. I'm like weirdly excited about the idea of trying to make my own, grow my own, make my own tofu. It's such a weird, dorky, nerdy sort of thing to do that, I don't know. Whatever keeps us excited. It's been a kind of a crap year. Anyway. All right. So everybody's been planted. We'll keep the rest of them to try and grow them somewhere else. Let's go take a look at the garden. I haven't really been doing too much out here at the garden. It's just been being. There we go. So this bed here is where I've grown like spinach and some lettuce and stuff. Back there, like all the pile of stuff. Underneath there is asparagus. And this bed is a new bed that I made. I put down so it's right next to that red thing there is a frost-free hydrant, and then next to it on the ground there's some rocks, some flat rocks. Underneath that is buried one of my cats. And then this new bed, I'm kind of doing sort of a hugelkultur. From here to this T-post, I dug it out and I put some rotted wood underneath, and then I threw my kitchen waste compost on it, and then covered it back up with like leaf mulch and the soil that was already here, and then covered it up with the straw. The straw's pretty rotten. It had been sitting out for at least a year, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. I kind of want to maybe grow a tomato here and then grow a tomato next to it. I don't know. I could easily get probably 4, maybe 5 tomatoes, but I want to grow like 3 really good tomatoes. And I don't know what I want to grow underneath them yet. I hear carrots and tomatoes go pretty well together. Let's see. In this garden bed, my aunt has some garlics going. I believe these big guys are elephant garlic up here in the front. They look kind of like leeks, but I believe they're elephant garlic. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, we still have a lot of kale left. It has survived the winter. I don't know exactly what kind of kale it is. It doesn't look like a purple kale. Definitely not a dinosaur kale. It needs weeding. So these plants here are artichoke, but it's not artichoke like a globe artichoke. It's like a cardoon or something like that. And they get very big. I'll have to take pictures of them once they start growing. I have put down a lot of, wait, come on. There, sort of. Put down a lot of leaf mulch through here. Supposed to help with weed suppression, but we still have a lot of pernicious weeds. One that we have is this one here. It's cleavers, but it's, I don't know, I also call it Velcro plant because it, oh, that one didn't stick. There, see? It sticks to your clothes, which is part of how it spreads around. So it will attach to animals and socks. And then, whoa, there's a hole there. It's each of its little pieces of itself will spread the plant around, which is kind of fun. Not, but it's supposed to be medicinal. Yeah, so I try to eat it as a way of helping to keep it under control. See, some other weeds that we have are this one here. It looks a little bit like a thistle. You can kind of see the hairiness inside of it, but it doesn't. No, actually, it does kind of have a dandelion smell to it. Not really. It kind of smells like a mix between dandelion and carrot. I was thinking it was tansy, but I don't really know per se. We have this one, which is something that was planted at one point and then it seeded. Yeah, ooh, it's very strong smelling. This one is calendula. Has really nice flowers and it smells amazing when you happen to mow over it. It's very really bright, kind of, you know how carrot has a bright smell? Well, it's kind of like that, or chamomile smell, where chamomile is like bright but earthy and flowery. I don't know, but yeah, this is, I believe this one is calendula, which, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't spread by root per se, but it seeds a lot. Come here, meow. Meow. Hi, kiddo. Here's Clam. She's like, I want to go away. What's up, kiddo? Okay, we'll put you down. That's Clam Chowder. She's one of the original kittens. She had kittens last year. She's spayed now, but she ended up having one kitten. Let's see. Here's another weed that we have. This is a cress. Is what it's called. C-R-E-S-S. And I believe it's like related to the mustard family or something. But it, oh, there's eggs. It's spicy, like mustard, peppery, spicy. It's also everywhere. It's another one that gives off little seeds that grow a lot. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Lots of weeds that if you took the time, you could probably eat them. But then again, they don't always taste super awesome. And it also requires coming out and harvesting them. So, okay, well, I mostly just wanted to check the microphone out and see how that was going to work. And when I walked out to my car, it was maybe 50 feet or so. So that should be okay for this thing. And then, yeah, the batteries are still good. And then just do some stuff in the garden. You guys were kind of my excuse. It's now 12:55 or so. So I gotta go and get myself ready to go to work. Oh, here comes another cat. Here's Luna, the original mama. Oh, you're purring. Yeah? You're not gonna eat my face? Can you hear her? Are you meanie? You're gonna be mean. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.